Hello, everyone. This is your favorite president, Donald J. Trump, with some very exciting news. By popular demand, I'm doing a new series of Trump digital trading cards. You all know what they are. We've had a lot of fun with them. It's called the America First Collection. 50 all-new stunning digital trading cards. It's really something. These cards show me dancing and even me holding some Bitcoins. We are announcing the launch of Trump Coins, a true symbol of American greatness. Trump coins are designed by me and minted right here in the USA. I've seen a lot of coins out there using my very beautiful face. I'm a very beautiful guy. I'm only kidding. But they are not the official coin. RealTrumpCoins.com is the only place to get an official Trump coin. I'm here to introduce something really special. I think you're going to love it. My new Trump watches. We're doing quite a number with watches, and the quality to me is very important. The Trump Victory Tourbillon. This isn't just any watch, it's one of the best watches made. Get your Trump watch right now. Go to gettrumpwatches.com. It's Trump time.
I will say, Willie, this is politics just keeps moving. Wow. It just keeps slipping into the future. I will say this is my favorite use of merchandising by presidents since Gerald R. Ford sold his own personalized leather football helmets. And, of course, you had Michael Dukakis in '88 with his push lawnmowers that he signed also. But nothing like this. Nothing like this.
You know, it's getting very expensive to be a supporter of Donald Trump. You got to the digital NFTs. You got to buy the sneakers. You got to buy the Bible, of course, the Trump Bible. Yeah. And now you've got to buy a watch. I mean, this guy's really asking a lot of his people. Did you love, too, when he called himself a very beautiful man and then pretended he was kidding, but wasn't kidding?
You know, one of those watches is actually $100,000.
$100,000? I just saw that.
Yeah,
crazy.
$100,000 for that. Tourbillon. Wow. A disclaimer on the website notes the proceeds do not directly benefit Trump or his campaign. No. Not directly.
Not directly.
But that each was part of a paid licensing
First
agreement.
goes through PayPal and then to
Whoa. I mean...
Caddy, do they do this in Britain?
No, but, you know, our elections only cost, I figured it out the other day, it's about 50 million for a whole general election in the UK. So that's kind of bargain basement democracy, right? I mean, ours is cheap by comparison. That's like about the sum. Totally. It's a state election. It's less. It's probably one congressional race in New York or California.
That might win you comptroller of Vermont.
Dog walker of Burlington.
We were taking an office bet about what product he would hawk next.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get his own version of a Cybertruck and do a Trump Cybertruck.
I think it's going to be blue sneakers like Sam's.
He's already done sneakers. Is
that what you're wearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Trump sneakers.
I would say, Elizabeth, there's such a disconnect between those people who are all in for Donald Trump, who sees this as like Christmas morning.
To buy a watch.
It's very exciting.
$100,000 for a watch. Can you imagine if the Democrats were doing something like this? I mean, I saw that the Trump campaign was going after Kamala Harris's necklaces and saying how much they were costing. Yeah. They weren't 100. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But he's entertaining.
Nothing matters.
Look, he's entertaining. Let's not forget.
More kind of seriously, I was speaking to some business people this week who are Trump leaning, and they say, yeah, okay, well, he says all of the stuff about the immigrants. We don't like that. We don't like his character. But, you know, things were more stable under Trump. The economy was doing better under Trump.
Not true.
But that's, whether it's true or not, those are the people who will turn out and vote for him, and that's why the Harris campaign, understandably, is right to be careful and cautious about the polls, because they know that there are a whole bunch of people out there who are prepared to disregard Donald Trump's rhetoric and selling watches and saying, I'm beautiful.
It's the corporate tax cuts,
but actually,
it's deregulation.
It's deregulation and tax cuts.
But aren't business people supposed to manage risk? Right, the risk, the added
that's
risk.
The alternative is the chaos factor
is magnitudes greater than the risk with
tariffs, chaos factor, deportation of immigrants, which would push up wage prices. There's a whole load of reasons, but there is some feeling that They know what they had with Trump. Actually, the economy was better. And yes, he says this crazy stuff and sells watches, and that's sort of a joke. But you know what? We don't take any of that.
You know, the economy
That's not
wasn't
what's
better.
decided.
For most of those people you're talking to, they've made more money than they've ever made their life
Because
over
the markets
past 4
have gone
years.
crazy
And they've
enough
made it
for them.
passively while they're watching their stocks go up.
They always get
most
returned.
likely
The Democrats.
tens
The
of
truth.
millions of dollars. It happens time and time again when Democrats are in the White House. The stock market goes up, and when Republicans in the White House, most of the time they're recessions. You look at the I mean, again, this is the thing, Sam, that used to drive me crazy, even when Trump was president. He kept saying, greatest economy of all time, greatest economy of all time. I think probably it was the New York Times that did a study, post-war presidents' GDP.
Right.
Donald Trump, pre-COVID, was number 7 behind Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
But I would be watching MSNBC. I'm just using that as the most extreme example of the people that you would think would be least likely to repeat Donald Trump's propaganda.
Yeah.
And the questions would start, of course, we know this is the best economy ever, but.
Yeah.
And you sit there going, oh my God.
Yeah.
The propaganda has worked even in the mainstream media.
Well, he's very good.
Let me just say it again. 7th best GDP
That's
post-war.
And that's pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, even lower than Jimmy Carter. And yet, dumb people who are looking for permission structure, who are millionaires, who want corporate tax cuts and regulation relief, they're saying, oh, well, the economy was, no, it wasn't better. And you talk to one economist after another economist after another economist, they will say, Donald Trump's policies will lead to massive tariffs, massive inflation, and massive debt.
Well, there's a couple things going on here. One is he, for all his faults, and there are many, I think he is a legitimately good salesman for himself, right? And he went out there day in and day out prior to COVID, and he would say things like, look at this great economy I've bequeathed to you. The second thing is, to a large degree, he's managed to, or we have collectively managed to, memory hole the COVID year. It's shocking to me how much the electorate and politicians and Trump himself have just basically been like, we don't count 2020. We just don't count it because we had this virus, and of course, I hold no responsibility for it, when in fact it was his management of the virus that exacerbated some of the problems. And the third thing is, I think you hinted at it, is that for a lot of people, it's about tax cuts and deregulation, and all the other stuff is just sort of noise. They look at the deportation plans, which would be incredibly disruptive, putting even aside the moral and social fabrics that would be ripped apart. Economically, incredibly disruptive to just rip 15 to 20 million people out of this country. And they don't even factor that in, because to them it's deregulation, it's tax cuts, it's the idea that we would have someone who would be financially beneficial to them in the Oval Office. And I think that those three things combine to create this perception of someone who would be a good manager of the economy, when the data empirically shows that it's not the case.
I mean, there's been report after report. There was one just yesterday showing that because of Trump's plan to put a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States, every product, and the plans to deport up to
15 to 20 million.
Well, 11 million people, and plus, you know, his desire to take more control of the Fed, that would cause inflation to rise by like 9% by 2026. There's numbers there that now that economists.
Yeah, but he'll just say, "Oh, I don't believe it." And then
the other thing is, Democrats never talk up the economy the way Republicans do, or the stock market, because they're so scared.
Trump touted his stock market numbers every single day, and sometimes there's been times where we've seen the stock market break records under the Biden administration. You kind of think, why doesn't the White House just come out and say, look at the stock market?
They don't want to talk about,
but they don't want to talk about.
It's
I
treated
know
as
they
an
don't want to
article
talk
of faith
about
in Democratic circles that you
division in
cannot
wealth.
talk up how good things are for
the
fear
wealthy.
that other people who don't feel that they are good will say you are out of touch. And maybe that's the smart idea, maybe it's a bad idea, but that's just an article of faith in Democratic circles.
Well, Donald Trump has taught that's not a smart idea.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because every day he was talking it up.
We've run that experiment.
And every day people bought it.
He would then be silent on the day.
Right.
You forget about it in those days.
All right, New York Times Washington Bureau Chief Elizabeth B. Miller, thank you so much for being on this morning.